Hey, what's up, guys? This is your boy Travis back again here at Big Boy Toy Reviews. And today we are finally able to take a look at the Jada Toys Sagat. Now, surprising to me, I know I had always heard that you could find these at Target, but I have never. And if you've been watching my channel, you know that I have all of them so far. I have never once, maybe Ken and maybe Ryu and Chun Li, but hardly ever do I see these in any of my local Targets. And I had to go to like 3 or 4 different Targets, and I wasn't even looking for these. I was actually looking for the Marvel Legends X-Force Jean Grey. So I wasn't even looking for these because I never expected them to be. Look, they're not, you can't find them. They're not currently available on like Amazon. Big Bad Toy Store has in cinema. So everybody seems to have them for those, I guess the people that maybe bought them or imported them or maybe had the hookup from Jada Toys. But us regular folk collectors, we haven't gotten them yet. And so not one time did I expect to see this out in the open, out in the wild. But I did, and I also saw him. So I got them both, 30 bucks. I mean, that's a freaking steal for what you get. They actually only had 2 of each at the Target I went to. So I almost bought all of them, but I'm not that kind of guy. Not trying to scalp or anything like that. I'm gonna leave that for anybody else that might have been actually looking for these. But anyway, taking a look at Sagat. Now, obviously he has been reviewed up until this point. I am not the first person to review this guy, clearly. But I did want to give my thoughts on this. Now, Jada Toys, I do like what they got going on here. He looks really, really good. I've always been a little iffy about the plastic that they use. It's a bit on the cheap side to me, but I understand from their price point perspective, they probably have to use this kind of plastic. But I do at least like that they put effort into the sculpting, the shading, because as you can see throughout the muscle definition here, he does have shading throughout. Now, are the sculpts typically pretty soft? Yeah, for the most part, but I think usually it's more of a face issue than the body issue. So I think they do a pretty solid job for what you get, for what you pay for these in the sculpting area. So I do love the fact that they sculpted his scar on his chest and his stomach. I freaking love that. I love that they didn't just paint it. Now, the scar on the neck and the scar on his forehead, actually the scar on his head is sculpted, but the scar on his neck is not sculpted. But yeah, he looks really freaking good. The pants, or the shorts I should say, are textured. Was this always just plain white? Was there ever like some kind of logo or symbol on that? I don't remember Street Fighter 2. I probably could have looked it up, but I just noticed it now. Got shading on the shin. Now you can complain about the shading being somewhat sporadic, not quite in the grooves where it's supposed to be. But to me, for the price point, I think it's fine. Straps look good. Now I do think they should have put some kind of weathering on the straps, maybe made these a little bit more dirty. Same with the ones on his wrists and hands, because obviously as a fighter these are going to be a little dingy. So I do wish they would have put some kind of shading there, but other than that, I think he looks pretty freaking good, and I love him. He is properly huge. Like properly huge. The guy's supposed to be a tall boy, really tall boy. So let's go ahead, take a look at the accessories. Whoops, I don't know why he just fell. take a look at the accessories. There's not a whole lot going on here, so I don't really have to transition to another setup here. He comes with kind of these two kind of tiger claw hands, I guess you can call these. And these look good. They don't need to be really anything special. Zoom in on them. You do have the fingernails sculpted and stuff, but you can see some flashing in there, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. That looks all right. Then he also comes with his grimacing head. That looks pretty good. Paint's a little off on the eye strap in some areas. Definitely could touch that up if I want to. Didn't notice that originally. I looked at all of them at Target to see which ones that were painted the best. You couldn't quite see this head in you couldn't see the entire head in the box like you could see. You didn't have a 360 view of the head in the box, so some of it is off, but that's okay. If I feel the need to touch that up, I could. I have at least that much skill. And then you get the tiger effect piece, and that looks pretty good. I don't recall it being this big and round though, and maybe this is just an effect of it being turned into a 4-dimensional or 3-dimensional toy. 3 dimensions, right? I don't even need to think about that. But because usually, obviously, in the game, you just see it from the side. But it usually has like black. I don't know how I feel about this now that I think about it. It's a little, it's okay. This is definitely not the best effect that I've seen from Jada, in my opinion. You get that, and then obviously you get the stand to hold up the effect piece. Nothing really special about a stand. But anyway, let's go ahead and go over some articulation here. He can look up that far, down that far. They do the neck cuts on these, so I prefer the neck cut personally. I don't think it looks bad. So yeah, that head can move all around. Can get a little bit over parallel there on the shoulder. The butterfly joint is there. It's okay. He can get across his chest. I think a decent amount. I think that's pretty good, actually. I think that's pretty good. Backwards, a little bit there too. So not too bad on that butterfly joint. You can argue that how they cut it out in order for that articulation to exist is kind of messing up the silhouette of the chest. Yeah, you can argue that. I can't disagree with that. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, obviously. Just the hinge for the wrists. Again, I wish they would go with the ball pegs, but it is what it is. As far as the diaphragm, can get twisting backwards about that far. Forward, just using that top joint, not so much. Do get side to side though. Do get solid side to side. Then when you activate the lower part, you can go back even further. Then he goes forward really, really nice. And obviously he's going to get more side to side articulation that way. So yeah, with both of those joints being activated, you do get the twisting at the top and the bottom. And it's not fighting me. Usually on the other figures, doing the twisting, especially the twisting at the top, would fight me a bit. Or was it at the bottom? It might have been at the bottom, but it's not fighting me as much as normal. Really good splits. Really good splits on that guy. Thigh swivel kicking forward. Really good. Backwards, not so much. Does have the cheeks back there. Over 90 degrees with that knee. And then they could have easily put a swivel here. I don't know why they did. I'm tripping. I didn't try. There is a shin swivel and it's covered up by the strap. It's really good. They didn't put one up there, no. Really good. Never mind, I spoke too soon. The foot can go up that far, down that far, and then you do get an ankle rocker, which is really good. And these have toe hinges. The larger figures seem to have a toe hinge on them. So I think that's pretty good toe hinge too. So yeah, good articulation. I mean, great articulation actually. He's pretty solid. I think he's one of the better articulated figures from Jada so far. So let's go ahead and do some quick comparisons. Okay, and here he is next to most of the men in the Jada Street Fighter line. We got Guile and Bison, DJ, and Ryu. I didn't bother to bring Ken out because Ken is basically the same as Ryu. I could have brought Fei Long, but my Fei Long has issues standing, and I just didn't want to deal with it. But obviously I do have Fei Long, but this is all of them except Fei Long, basically. Fei Long and Ken. I did want to go ahead and pose him since these guys were already in poses, and I didn't want to unpose them. So I went on ahead and just threw him in a pose just to give a better height comparison. That's a little bit more equal since certain ones are bent over and stuff like that. So, but yeah, he is properly huge, properly taller than everybody else. So that's what he looks like with them. Okay, and here he is next to the females so far that have come out for Jada Toys. Now, as far as I forgot Dalsim in the previous comparison. I thought I said I had brought all the guys except Ken and Fei Long, but clearly I forgot about Dalsim. But I have him posed like this, so the comparison is just not going to work there. But here he is with Chun-Li and Cammy, and then we have the SH Figure Arts Rainbow Mika, which is not anywhere close to being part of this Street Fighter 2 Ultra line of figures, but it is a Street Fighter figure, so I figured I'd show it. But yeah, he is properly way bigger than them. So that is what he looks like with them. Okay, and last but not least, here he is next to the McFarlane Medieval Spawn, the Kickstarter Spawn. He's not quite next to him though, right? He's just in the same line. Anyway, never mind. We have the Mafex Captain America, the SH Figure Arts Luffy, and then we have I think this is the Beast Deities, one of the movie Brolys. Beast Deities movie Brolys. I don't remember which movie it was, but yeah, he's a little dusty right now. Yeah, I still have these. I know I said I was probably going to sell them, but I do still have these gigantic boys. Now you can see Broly is just a beast. But yeah, that is it for comparisons. All right, so to wrap things up, now I tried to get his pose from the game, his starting pose correct. I'll put some pictures up. I kept getting them mixed up with regular Street Fighter 2 compared to Street Fighter 2 Ultra, because Street Fighter 2 Ultra, his outfit is a little bit different. Like in the regular Street Fighter 2, his like this glove that's on the, I guess you can say the inside of the I'll just say his right hand. He only has a wrist wrap. He doesn't have his whole hands wrapped. So in Ultra, both of his hands are wrapped, and the eye patch switches in Street Fighter 2. So depending on if you're playing from this side or this side, the eye patch stays on his right side, or it'll stay on the opposite side. So opposite side of the screen. So you always see the open eye pointed towards you, and the eye patch is always like pointing toward the back. So I was getting them kind of confused, but I think this is good enough for what I'm trying to do. But anyway, I need to spend a whole minute talking about the posing. But yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic addition to the Street Fighter line. Let's be serious. I mean, he's a solid figure, big, bulky, just like Sagat should be looking in the in Street Fighter 2 Ultra. So I freaking love him. Anyway, that is it for the review. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.